Peace, peace. Peace with God. Peace with all. Peace with everything. Respect and wisdom. Is the order of the way. So we have a matter on our hand today. Religion versus the way. What do you choose? So if anyone come in, please uh hit the welcome mat by answering the question and come on in. But until then, we got to go into some deliberation of what we thought was the way. Religion is a word that we have came to know that captures doctrines, traditions, customs from men and women. We find religion is man-made. We find institutions are man-made. And we find in those institutions that are man-made scriptures. These scriptures is what gives these institutions life, and with life comes rights given from the divine, they may call it charter. So a charter is what opens a lodge, temple. So we must understand these things as rudiments of your surroundings. These are the fundamental building blocks of your surroundings. You have religion, which is society's system. You have religion, which is society's system. Religion was not made by God. Religion was not made to honor God. Religion was made for you to believe less of yourself. While those dressed up having more authority and therefore have a more superior quality, and so these teachings has been precipitated into systems that instills its teachings. So from schools to churches to lodges, we can find a similar theme throughout. So religion began with pagans, and pagans have many gods. So there are many denominations of religions because pagans have many gods. So today, what is religion is really strangers, foreigners, heathens, Gentiles, pagans, who all is wrapped in the word Jew. Wrap their spirits of the dead in their institution and doctrines of men, and make the spirits of the dead deities, in which whoever comes inside the institution and becomes a member begins to worship the dead. And this is what's hyphened as religion. It's pagan spirituality wrapped up in a universal bow. So this is going to transmorph into a one world religion. And the one world religion is attack on all people. The people rights and divine rights, breath and holy breath. So we must understand and overstand both so we don't get caught in neither. So in religion, all you do is worships, and those worships are to dead spirits, and those dead spirits are from the foreigners from the far North Pole. So the people of the far North Pole, known as the white races, have percolated a religion that seeps through a divine nature in a form of trinities that you will find as footprints showing who they are. So calling yourself a member of a religion in 2025 is to say you worship Lucifer. Luciferianism has dominated religion, has dominated societies, have dominated secret societies in the name of religion as truth. So please engage with yourself. This is about you. You have to save your own soul by being spiritually wise, and through that spiritual wisdom, you will save yourself by knowing properly how to make decisions or how to choose better. When you know better, you choose better. And so no religion gave man the ability to think, reason, and choose. No religion gave women the ability to think, reason, and choose. The way gave the ability to men and women to think, to reason, and to choose. So, and this is what is called the way. So, to counter the way, the priesthood of the far North Pole races, known as the Atlanteans, then Africans. And these are Caucasians. Caucasians are Africans. But they use religion to cover all this up. But if you understand through research, study, and self-evaluation, your heart and mind will guide you to truth. So all these years, for over 2,000 years, we've been given hybrids all the way stripped down to GMO, stripped down to lacking vitamins and minerals. And that's why it's no spiritual nourishment. within the societies. So religion function off societies, and societies keeps its members or citizens by way of religion. So before religion was invaded upon your being, all you knew was the one way. The one way is the way that was re-emphasized by Asa'ah, better known as Jesus, to black people. So now when we are talking about spirituality, this is where you have to understand the sources of where the Bible, the sources of the New Testament, the sources of the Old Testament. You know how this was not put together by one author, and that it was put together for agenda, and as they say, for a man with a plan. So a lot of disengagement into truth has happened because people have spiritually denounced themselves to understanding what spirituality is and what's the difference between spirits and spiritual wisdom. So angelic knowledge, which is spiritual knowledge, the high and lofty understanding, which are the treasures of your heart, is the way. The way is for those who can never die, because you honor the gifts given to you by your Father. You and Father are one. This has been the misconceived concept that has dragged millenniums and populations into slavery physically and mentally. And so now there's a spiritual awareness expanding because dissatisfaction, servitude, unlawful behavior is happening that is opposite of what Jesus believed. So when we are to understand what did Jesus believe the way. The I am is the incarnation, or when you incarnate from the way. There's only one way that all is produced. And so this has defungled and mystified up to, and we will say the elect because that's not the original word. So the elect have been deceived just as the whole world been deceived. This is about you and yourself. This is about you yourself. And to understand this, most people have picked up of the Bible, but they only read from the New Testament. So here's a spiritual jewel. So this is the foundation of religion committing sacrilege, which is a crime, which means there's a victim, which means there's certainty that there was injury involved. Injury is just not to a body, but injury is also to the name. And anything that affects this name or a body is affected by any legal injustice, injustice, non-justice. So religion has found a way to play prisoner and jailer with its population. And this is the beginning institution, as you would say, every charter or constitution has its preamble, huh? So this is like the preamble of religion into savaging souls for the Roman code. Let's begin. We're familiar with John New Testament 1:1. This is where you get the birth of religion countering the one. So as we're going to see how they kind of put it, they put it in the beginning was the word. See, the word, not the God. And we keep reading, and the word was with God, and the word was God. See, and that is where things go wrong. We know it should be the God. That way it's specific in the lines of oneness. But we see we don't have that. We have the word in replace of the God. So God became the word, and the word refers to Jesus Christ. So that was the trick of religion in our era and time that have dismayed majority of the minds. So we are here to renew the mind. We're here to renew the heart. When I say mind, heart. We're here to renew the mind. So we must understand, in the beginning was the way. See, the way is what it's about. It's not how you do it, it's the way you do it. Everything in manifestation happens through the way. When things are revealed to you that you didn't know and you come to know, that is called through the way. In the beginning was the way. And the way was with. See, and this is how you get the way of the God. So you hear God's way, or the religion hijacks it and put Yah's way. but with the renewing of the heart, the correct pronunciation is ah way. Ah's way. The way was with the God, and the way was the God. So this is how the creator interacts with creation is through the way. Not what you say, but through the way. What you say come out of the way. So as you find knowledge of self, you find who you are. And that's a being. We're going to have to get some words. New words that can give us new meanings. And then we could take the same words and use these new meanings. The meaning is knowledge, and knowledge is the way. The way was with the God in the beginning. Through the way, all things were made. So this is how everything came to be, not through Jesus Christ, the religion version, but through the natural way of the divine creator. The way of the divine is how everything was made. Everything was made, but everything that was made will be unmade. See, so this is showing you that there's a way. We used to say, if there's a will, there's a way. This is what it's speaking on. So this phrase, out of the scholarship of John, the gospel, this is how they change the Injil to English. Jesus Christ. So if Jesus was indigenous, then all of the way, all of the meaning, all of the knowledge is indigenous in nature. And we know just from living in society, the wealth does not have the way. The rich does not have the way. People who have a lot of money does not have the way. They never telling you. So you know you can infer that they do not have the way. People are propped up as props on a stage to perceive and give a perspective. So we have to keep in mind these spiritual wisdoms, because if not, that's how you can get lost into the extravagancies of your society, maybe. So we understand at all Sufyan that the way is necessary, and that the way has a divine and and the way is defined by the divine. And there's no way around that. You already know. Figure deal me. So there's a thing with God that we got to know about, which we're going to provide the divine truth. And there's a thing of your vessel, your land. Yeah, we're going to call it your land, your living land. So how your living land, your flesh, aka your soil of the earth, where you from, where you native, how that came to be, if you part of the black diaspora. So these are their terms, and so since we've been schooled and abused by their terms, we're still using them to convey. But we are Asiatics. Asiatics exist before Indian. Asiatic exists before American. Asiatic is compliance with our ancient divine constitution and our divine charter and our divine upliftment. So all y'all who would love to join the divine way, please subscribe. That's all you have to do. And then after that, listen to the teachings and be the teachings. So with that being said, if there's no interaction, I'm gone. And I'll catch you on the next one. I would love for it to be, but our people still awakening and out of sleep. So we say all Wadu means I love you. That's love divine. From him to you. As-salam, all Sufiyan.